Hello and welcome to Game Changers with Vicki Abelson. That's me. And my guest today is my wonderful friend and inspiration, Dee Wallace. Dee, yay, you are.
Yay, we're together again.
I'm so happy. Do you know that you were my second guest in the pandemic, and we couldn't even figure it out then, and we couldn't see you, but we did an hour and a half anyway.
I remember that. Yeah. Well, you connect with energy with the intention of connecting. So it all worked great.
It did, and it accomplished what it needed to, because it gave people. I'm so excited. You are the only person that I had hip replacement surgery, as I told you, and you are the only guest that I'm having before the new year. And because
I'm honored.
It felt so important to talk to you, especially now, because you have your new book, Born, and how we can be born again. And what a perfect time moving into 2022 when we all need this rebirth.
Yeah.
So talk to me, Dee, because you were, right before we went on the air, you were saying that a lot of people are having the fear and the anxiety that I'm having. What can we do?
Yeah. Well, I want to explain why
yes,
people are wanting to feel better and struggling to do it. So everybody stop what you're doing, because you're not going to be able to follow this if you're farting around doing something else.
No multitasking. Okay.
So this is how it works. We create everything within ourselves.
Okay.
First. Our hearts are electrical. They're measured through electrocardiograms. Our brains are electrical. They're measured through electroencephalograms. Whenever we have a thought or a feeling, it shoots a signal through our bodies and out into the universe. So if I get up and say, oh, I'm not worthy and I don't know how to do it, and everybody's getting sick, and I'm going to get sick, that signal shoots out into the collective consciousness.
Okay,
hold on. Now, when the majority of the energy in the collective consciousness, when the majority of the energy focuses on, let's say, the positive or negative, then it saturates the energetic field, because the universe is an electromagnetic universe. So then you get all of that shot back to you. You get all of it shot back to you. So what happens then is we're fighting against a collective consciousness instead of just trying to redirect ourselves. The image they gave me, my channel, that I loved was Wonder Woman with her shield, right? And we have to put our shield up and go, no, I ain't buying into that. I'm not buying into everybody's getting sick. I'm not buying into, oh, the world is shutting down again, because I know that I have to create the world I want within me if I'm going to live in the world I want. That's just the way it works. So the more you live in your imagination and choose the thoughts, the feelings, the beliefs, and the perspectives that you want, the more you live in the world you want. So it's important for everybody to understand how much energy you're getting hit with because of the accumulation of the belief systems out there that everybody's getting sick, right? So let me tell you why everybody isn't getting sick.
Okay.
So my daughter and her guy and his little girl had just gotten back from San Francisco, meeting with his family for the holidays. And they were here Christmas Eve day, and we were baking cookies and having fun and getting ready for Christmas Eve. And he got the message that his brother had just tested positive.
Oh.
Now, they all stayed in his house. Lanny and I are both over 70. Nobody has come down with COVID.
Wow. How fantastic.
So, well, but you see, yes, we eat right. Yes, we take care of ourselves. But more than that, we know that we are our own self-creators.
Dee, how do we change our thinking? Okay, so you guys had this way of thinking. How do we come to your side of the street and change our way of thinking?
Well, the whole book Born is about this. I mean, if people apply what I give them in this book, their lives will change, Vicki. I guarantee it.
Well, I need it. I'm ordering the book as soon as we get off the phone.
Everybody needs to live more consciously. So, but I'll give you some really easy tips. First of all, you have to be conscious that you're thinking a negative thought, right? Like, oh my God, I'm so fat after Christmas is a negative thought.
Right.
Well, is that going to give you the body and the self-esteem you want? No, no. So you have to, this is what I do. I do self-talk and I go, Deanna Bowers, which is my given name. Deanna Bowers, did you just hear what you thought? I mean, that is going to take you right into the toilet. You might as well flush yourself down right now. It's going to send the money away. It's going to send the health away and everything. So would you like to choose a different thought that's going to give you what? By that time, I'm laughing, right? And as soon as you're laughing, you're disconnected. You're disconnected and you can choose to go a different route. Another easy way is just, again, you have to be conscious. And it's not that hard, guys. It's easy. Everybody say right now, it's easy.
It's easy.
It's easy. You hear yourself think a negative thought, like, oh my God, here we go again, and I won't be able to make a living. You see, you're disconnected. And then you can go, I know I'm smart. My consciousness is how I make money. I know that I'm going to be fine. I'm creating it that way. So those are a couple of quick little things. The most important tool that my channel has ever given us, they said, was a breathing exercise. So first of all, everybody find their love place. And your love place is anything that makes your heart open and makes you smile. I go right to my little doggy Freedom. Or Gabby when she was a baby. Or Hawaii that I love. So everybody finds your love place. And just feel into that love place. And let's just say we're working on health. So we're in our love place. You take a deep breath in to the count of 3 or 4. Really push your lungs out. Smile. And as you exhale, you say, I am divine health. Take another deep breath. Smile. Exhale slowly. I am divine health. Okay, now you can go from health to money to success. I also include, and I think everybody should, directions for the world. I see our country united in peace and love, right? I see world peace. I am divine world peace. You do that breathing exercise for 10 minutes. And don't tell me you don't have 10 minutes. I'm one of the busiest people on the planet. I will not finish my day without doing that exercise.
Now,
and
do you do it to start
your life exponentially?
To start your day or end your day? You do it to end your day?
No, I usually start my day with it. But if for some reason life takes over, you know, like today, I went to pick up something with my guy and I didn't want to go in, and I sat in the car and I did my meditation. You can do it anywhere, right? But scientifically, why this is so important, because, you know, I think a lot of spiritual people think this is guess stuff, that this is luck and this is happenstance. It's not, it's science. Everything I teach is science through spiritual teaching.
I love that.
And I talk a lot about that and give you a lot of proof in Born. But where was I going now? Scientifically.
Oh, wait, while you're on a break, I want to ask, for me, the part that I forget. I do this exercise. You gave it to me 12 years ago. I forget to smile. I forget to smile and feel that joy. Yeah. And that's, without it, that it doesn't work. Well, that's true, because joy and love, you want to fill yourself up, because that tells your brain, oh, when I'm creating this, I'm feeling joy and love. Because I also don't go to the love place. I just start saying the words. Yeah, and I don't. Yeah. No. So now you know. Okay. But I want to touch on this, the reason that the breathing, and, you know, in Buddhism, a lot of religions talk about deep breath. Why it's important scientifically is there's this thing that runs down your brain through your back, which goes into all your organs, called the vagus nerve. And when you do deep breathing, you are sending all those messages through the vagus nerve, and your body is responding. So it's important to do for health reasons too. Dee, can you give us an example of something that you've turned around in your life as a result of doing this practice? I know there's a million things, but give us one specific something that. Well, ET. How so? ET is a great example of this. I had been in a psychology class studying creation, and my channel is very big on this too, Vicki. Write out everything you want. Write it out, because I can guarantee you that everybody says, yeah, I know what I want, and most people don't. So I felt love around it. I read everything that I wanted to create with it. And a month and a half later, they just called and offered me ET. I've created 2 series this way. I've created healing my blood pressure this way. I created Gabrielle this way. Weren't you told that you couldn't have children? A specialist told me I would never have a baby. I said, thank you for sharing. God and I have a different plan. And I could see her. I could feel, I could smell her, Vicki. Oh. You know, and I said, just take me wherever I have to go, to whomever can help me create this baby. So you know what happened? I got a film in Australia for Disney. I went down to Australia and I was telling my handler about this.
And she said, oh my God, we're specialists in fertility down here. I know the top doctor. Let's go see him.
Wow.
So I said, yeah, let's go see him. Do you know that he did a test that none of the specialists here did, that found out I had one of the largest fibroid tumors ever on record? I had no symptoms, zero, zip, none.
Wow.
Nothing. And he said, get this fibroid out and you can get pregnant. Well, I came back and I went to my doctor and they said, yeah, we can take it out, but you'll be laid up for about 10 months. Well, I kind of was a sole money maker in the family right then. And I said, there's got to be another way. Bring me another way, universe, because I am committed to creating this kid. So then I went to my GYN, for a better word, and he said, oh, you have to go see this acupuncturist that I've worked with. Now, most people don't know that acupuncture, that's one of their specialties, is fertility. Mm-hmm. So I went, worked with him for 3 months. He shrunk the tumor, made me drink this god-awful tea, which I actually started to like, which worried me. And 6 months later, I was pregnant.
What? Wait a minute. You never had surgery?
No. By the time that Gabrielle was, I think she was about 4 or 5 months old, because of all the estrogen during pregnancy, the tumor had grown again. By that time, they had created the laparoscopy. So they just made 2 little tiny incisions and went in and took the tumor out for 6 hours. And that was that. And that's what they mean by God works in mysterious ways. But you see, we're taught to be waiting on God, and God is waiting on us. We were given free will to work with energy and create with energy on this plane. Nobody can think a thought for us, feel a feeling for us, hold a belief or perspective that we don't want for us. We literally are our self-creators. And the more you create within you and then ask the universe to partner with you, the more your life just starts showing up, Vicki.
Dee, how did you come to this? You talk about your channels. How did you first come to this? I mean, were you a child? When did this come to you?
I did channel when I was a child. All kids channel, by the way. All kids see imaginary friends and hear things, talk in tongues sometimes. So I did channel when I was little, and I channeled somewhat through middle school, a little bit into high school. And then I left home and kind of put it away and didn't really pick it up again until I met my husband, Christopher Stone. And he was involved in this teaching called conceptology. And we started studying that, and it's way beyond law of attraction. And what I teach is way beyond law of attraction too. And so we started practicing that, and then Christopher died suddenly. And I dropped to my knees and I said, I don't want to be a victim, and I don't want to be pissed off the rest of my life. I want a way we can heal ourselves. Well, you see, I asked. Ask and ye receive. So within seconds, I got the first message, which was use the light within yourself to heal yourself. Well, I've been learning about it for the last almost 40 years now. but I also want people to know that ask in the original Hebrew, which is what the Bible was written in, means claim or demand. This will be delivered to me now. So most of us are waiting for the guides, or waiting for God, or waiting for messages for the angels, right? They're going, gosh, guys, if you'll just choose what you want and commit, then we can come in and partner with you and create what you want. But they're not going to take the right of us learning about self-creation and free will away from us.
And when did and how did you get in touch with your channel? How did that happen? When did that happen?
Well, it happened when I dropped to my knees and got that first message. And then I was teaching acting at the time. And about 3 days later, I went in to teach a class, and I was getting downloads about where all their blocks were, why they couldn't cry, and why they were hung up about sex, and and then the universe led me to this chiropractor who muscle tested. So I was learning muscle testing, and then I worked with another doctor who worked with the pendulum, and really it became half an acting class, half a healing class. It's really funny, Vicki, because I'd have like 6 auditors. 3 of them would come up to me and go, I will do anything to be in this class and study with you. And the other 3 would go, hey, it was great, bye. Because, I mean, it was freaky, the stuff that came through.
And so how does your channel speak to you? I know you use a pendulum. How does your channel, what is it energy?
I hear.
What you hear? Yeah,
I hear, not, well, it is kind of like I hear you, but it's a feeling and a hearing. It gets, the more you work with your channel, the clearer it gets. Some people see pictures, like John Edwards. His channel gives him pictures a lot that represent things. I get pictures sometimes also. And, the biggest challenge is to trust yourself, because you're not doing it. You're not bringing in the information, and everybody's scared to death that it's them. And what if they bring in the wrong stuff, right? Well, that's going to shut down your channel. So I just was told to get up and every day say, I am a clear channel and I trust my channel. And I know that I always bring in the highest information and the highest knowledge with the highest understanding. That's the big caveat, because a lot of psychics will get information from your energy and not the highest understanding of what it represents.
Can you give me an example of that?
Oh, yeah. Okay, so I saw this fabulous African-American woman earlier in my career, and she was really right on about a lot of stuff. She looked at me and she said, you're going to have an affair right in front of your husband. I said, I don't think so. I'll be dead. So I just kind of let it go. Well, that summer, I did Annie, Get Your Gun. And I had a love affair with Frank on stage right in front of my husband. So, and that's a simple explanation of it. But, over the years, my channel has given me a lot of core beliefs that we all share. actually many of them in one night. They woke me up. We were away for Christmas, and they woke me up at 3 a.m. and said, get up and write. So I got a pen and paper, and they gave me about 20 of the core beliefs that are on my sheets.
Wow.
That we all share and we can all apply. And sometimes I'll go to a core belief now and I'll go, okay, we're going to core belief, and I'll hear, yeah, but you have to change the words. So I don't try to figure it out. I just listen. That's how I write. That's how I act, Vicki. When I started channeling, I went, oh my God, this is what I've been doing in my acting all my career.
How so?
Well, I studied with a man named Charles Conrad, who he taught us not to work on anything, not to think about it. Where am I coming from, going to, all the stuff that I'd studied all my life. He taught us to get our energy very, very, very high and throw all our energy onto our partner. What that does is it opens up a channel. So the character just tells me what to do. We were never allowed to do a piece of material that we had read or known. So I got up to do this scene in class, and I was walking across the floor, and Charles stopped me and he said, Dee Wallace, you know you're not supposed to do any material that you've ever seen or know. I said, Charles, I don't have the slightest idea of what this scene is about. I've never seen it. He said, how do you know that the girl is physically challenged and can't walk well? Because I was limping across the floor.
Wow.
And stuff like that happened in our acting class every week.
Wow. Dee, do you ever get, are you ever mortal, and do you ever think the bad thoughts, get negative?
You mean like, fuck this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. So how do you redirect how quickly and how do you redirect yourself when you're going to a dark place?
Well, I don't get to really dark places anymore, Vicki. I don't. But when I feel myself going into the toilet, we've already gone over 3 things that you can do to bring yourself. Look, guys, when you know and really know that all those thoughts are going to bring you everything you don't want, you start being really conscious of what you're thinking. And sure, yes, it's not a soundbite fix, Vicki. Look, people that say, oh, buy this blank CD and your life will change. I think it's bullshit. I do. And I'm good friends with some of them. But I know that we are here to really learn to work with energy and direct energy. And if we are not directing energy consciously, it gets directed by our subconscious, by all our well-meaning friends and spouses, by the television. Do you know that we did an experiment, about 20 of us, of my clients and myself. In 1 hour of TV, you can hear over 50 messages of how sick you're going to be or are, and what you need to take and how that's probably going to make you sick anyway. while you are watching beautiful pictures of happy family and dogs. So your brain goes, oh, I get it. Being sick makes me happy.
Wow.
And if you're not conscious,
wow, is that really the message? Wow.
Well, of course it's the message. That's back to Hitler. You know, you want to put a positive, fun image, a powerful image, along with a negative, and people will buy it like lemonade, which is a lot of what you're seeing in the country right now. Mm-hmm. So if you want a different country, a different world, a different family experience, you better start being really clear and feeling love and joy around only what you want.
Okay, so we're moving into 2022. A lot of us have been mostly home, not doing the things we would normally do.
By choice.
By choice.
Yeah.
Are you saying that we can move into 2022, even with this Omicron around and the pandemic around, and get back to our life as it was, exactly as it was?
Absolutely. That's the only way we'll get back there.
And so part of that, what I want is, I guess, perfect health and affirming that. I mean, what keeps us immune from getting this thing? Our thoughts, our belief?
Well, sure. But according to my channel, those of us that live in the frequency of self-love do not attract it. But if you're in fear of it, you know, guys, you know what you fear, you attract. Because scientifically, what you fear is what your attention is on. And what we put our attention on, we increase. We manifest more of. That's why in the Bible, Christ said, think only on these things, love and joy and peace. Think only on these things. So, you know, I'm convinced Christ was teaching brain science in the only way they could understand it back then. And love.
Okay, so Dee, you talk a lot about love, and now you brought up self-love.
Oh,
a lot of us were not brought up to have self-love.
None of us were brought up to love ourselves.
How do we begin to erase those negative?
But see, Vicki, you keep putting the emphasis on how do we erase the negative?
Okay, forget about the negative. How do we move into the positive?
Okay, so go to your love place. That's what it feels like to love yourself. That's what it feels like to be free. That's what it feels like to live in the world you want. That's really all you have to know, but you have to do it. You see, when I go out and speak, I'll have somebody come up and I'll go, okay, nice to meet you. What do you want to work on? Well, I don't want to have to worry about money. Great. What do you want? Well, I don't want to have to worry about money. Great. What do you want? Well, I don't want to feel like there's not enough money to do what I want in my life. Great. What do you want? I'm telling you, this can go on for 20 minutes. 20 minutes. And finally, they yell at me, I want more money. And I go, great. That's the first time you told me what you wanted. Because we are taught not to say what we want when we're little. And by the way, our brains, the way we see ourselves and see ourselves in the world and our self-esteem in the world, totally done by 8 years old. So if you want to really see where your walls are, go back to conception to 8 and write down everything that you were taught verbally and that you watched modeled in front of you. You'll see where your blocks are. Like, I was raised in a very, very poor family, somewhat religious family. My brother became a minister. And I distinctly remember hearing, they're the rich people. We're the good people.
Wow. God
loves us more.
Wow.
Well, so cut to me, 32 years old, ET's just come out. Money's coming in. I'm the belle of the ball. And I went and hid away for a year.
Wow.
Because I was one of them. And I went, oh my God, because I really wasn't into a full understanding of how all this worked. It was just beginning. And I went, oh my God, that's their belief. That doesn't have to be my belief. That's not going to give me what I want, ever. I know that the more money I make, the more I can give to my kids. And the more I can help charities that I love, right? The more good I can do in the world. My consciousness decides what I do with my money. My consciousness decides what I do with my fame. But again, you have to look, everybody, either now or when you get off, stop and take time. Look at the patterns in your life. We have patterns. Like, we'll make enough money and then something will happen and we have to pay a big sum of money somewhere and we're even again. And then we make some money and then boom, we lose it somehow. That's a pattern. Okay? We get successful and then we get sick. We get well, we get successful, then we get sick. That's a pattern. Those are belief systems that are creating those patterns for you. The 3 pillars that I talk about in Born, so important. How I see me, how I see the world, and how I see the world seeing me. So I see me as an actress. But if I saw a world where it wasn't possible for me to be an actress from Kansas, it would have stopped there. Or I can see me as an actress and I can see a world that could let me be an actress. But then I see all those rich people and successful people out there looking at me going, right, she's this kid from Kansas and she thinks she's going to be a successful actor. Stops right there. All 3 of those pillars hold up your creation.
So I'm going to put out there to everybody who's out there, if anybody has a question for Dee that you would like Dee to channel an answer for you, please put it in the comments now, and I'm checking as we go. Dee, has it ever not worked for you? Is there anything that has eluded you that you've wanted and that you?
Sure, it's a continuing learning process. I have yet to make $1 million a year. Now, this is what's interesting. So watch the pendulum. So I believe I can make $1 million. That's my yes. I really want to make $1 million goes right to no.
Wow.
Okay. So again, we think we know what we want. So let's just ask, am I going to a core belief? This page here, here. Hold on, gotta put my glasses here. Okay, so it goes to core belief 40, God betrays me, I betray me. Now, if we betray ourselves, God has to betray us because we're the God of us on this plane. Okay, so then we have to get clear. So I am betraying myself by not making $1 million. I believe I'm betraying myself by making $1 million.
Wow.
Okay, so then why? Is it the I'm going to be one of them thing again? No. And I knew this when they first made me go into this. I just am really happy with what I have, Vicki. I'm just really happy and feel really wealthy and feel really abundant making what I make and serving in the way I serve. And, you know, do I want that to continue? Absolutely. But is it important to me to make $1 million? No. Would it be okay with me? Sure. But I'm happy where I'm at.
That so speaks to me, Dee, because I love what I do. I am not financially successful, but I love what I do and I'm happy doing what I do. And I survive and I'm fine and my life goes on and it works out. So the money is not the thing that drives me, even though I think I want it.
Okay. So that went to no. The money's the thing. Money is the thing that does drive you, but not in the way that you think. So are you willing to go into this on the show?
Sure.
Okay. So that begs the question then, money drives you in a positive way, it's going to no. In a negative way, no. That's my maybe or my in between.
Okay.
Because it's already picking up my thought. Money drives you to keep you exactly where you are, even though you're not happy being exactly where you are. Okay, now we're going to a core belief, not this page. Hold on here. Well, are all those words the highest and most correct? I don't think I have enough energy to do this. You don't think you have enough energy to do what you're doing and make more money. And I'm going right to your dad. What does your dad have to do with that?
My father was never financially successful. He was always behind the 8 ball, always.
Oh,
Worked
okay.
three jobs, spent more than he made, all of that.
Okay. So you have, these are the words they're giving me. You sort of kind of have moved out of his story, but you haven't written your own story. So Vicki, how much do you want to make a year?
I'd like to make $1 million a year.
Okay. Do you think you can? Yes.
I do.
But you don't think you have the energy to?
I don't know.
Somehow.
Yeah.
Now, look, go back to what you said about your dad. It took him so much energy to make money that he didn't make.
Mm-hmm.
That's what you've got to redirect now.
And that's, I mean, I put in a lot of energy, actually, not recovering from my hip surgery, but normally I'm a workaholic, crazy.
Yeah, but and they don't ever let me use the word but, and the belief that you put together when you were a little girl watching your dad is I can use all the energy I have at my disposal and I still don't make money.
That's true. That's completely
okay.
true.
Well, how about we shift that around?
Yes. How about we shift that around?
I am energy and I'm divine energy, and all my energy goes out and creates good for people. That's my first and foremost wish. And I'm willing to receive a lot of financial abundance back.
That's that last part's the part that I always neglect.
Well, yeah, because look, money's just an exchange of love. It's an exchange of energy, Vicki. So if you're not allowing people to pay you, you're not receiving the love from them.
I don't even ask for it. I don't even ask for it.
Well, yeah, because you had that belief.
Mm-hmm.
So you
wait. So, all right. No, I haven't gotten somebody ask a direct question yet. There's a lot of comments, but not a direct question yet.
Oh, come on, guys. People pay a lot of money for me to do this.
Come on, somebody asked you a question so that we can get her to do it. So, okay, so to change that, it's doing this 10 minutes a day of going to my loving, happy place.
Yep.
And saying these words that you gave me. Smiling.
Yes, but you see, you're not doing it to change something or to get something. You are doing it for the express purpose of feeling love and joy around what you want.
I love that.
Yeah, there's a big difference because most people go, all right, I'm going to go in, I'm going to do this for 10 minutes a day, what Dee told me to do, and I'm going to make this happen. And it doesn't happen that way.
So Dee, to get that love and joy, okay, we were talking about this before we came on the air briefly. I know a lot of people, I'm in the rooms, as they say, and I hear a lot of people every day talking about their fears and their resentments and the same stories over and over again with the mother, with the partner, with the child.
Yeah.
Okay, to break this cycle with specific things that are keeping us down, specific resentments, angers, fears that.
Okay, you already answered it, Vicki. Okay. All those things are keeping us down. Mm-hmm. Not them. They don't care. They moved on. And you're the only one that can go, you know what? I'm just not going to hold on to this. I'm just not going to. I mean, is there anything easier than that?
Are you able to do it that easily, Dee?
Absolutely. Now I am. But you have to choose. It's like, all right, I'm not going to eat that damn cookie. I'm going to lose these last 5 pounds if it, the last thing I do. You commit.
So that commitment in the moment when I have that thought, in that moment, the commitment is to go to love, to bring love into it.
To go to love yourself, because the more you love yourself, the more you will not hold judgments and resentments.
Okay, so let's say I don't have this self-love at the moment, right? And let's say in the moment I'm beating myself up about something. I've made some mistake. I feel like I did something stupid and I'm kind of beating myself up. In that moment that I have the awareness that I'm doing that, and I'm going to try to turn, and I want to not try, I want to turn that around to love. What am I doing in that? So here I am, I'm telling you're such an idiot. Why did you say that? What a stupid thing to say. In that moment, now I have this awareness. Okay, look what I just did. How do I, in that moment, turn that around?
Well, in that moment, you go, and I've already gone over this, this is not going to get you what you want. You're not going to be happy. You're not going to be healthy. Money's going to run away from you by holding all this resentment and everything. Okay, so what do I want? I want to feel good. I want to feel love. I'm choosing to feel love. I'm choosing to let go of my resentment. I'm choosing. You see, people think thoughts and feelings just happen. And they do if you're not conscious. But you can shift anything in your life through choice and focus, Vicki. I know I've done it.
So self-creation is conscious creation.
Yeah,
right?
That's the name of my first book.
Mm-hmm.
That's the name of my radio show.
Mm-hmm.
Conscious creation. That's why I wrote Born, because the more I worked with people, the more I saw they really did not get what it was or how to do it. Look, you know what we do? We go to class, we read the books, we go to lectures, but we don't apply it in every moment of our lives.
Mm-hmm.
And until we do, our lives don't change.
And so have you seen, is this a slow or fast process? How does this work?
Depends on your belief system. As you believe, it is delivered to you.
So when those negative thoughts or those fears or those resentments start to come in, the sooner you can stop them.
Nip them in the bud, turn them around, choose your positive thought, and then feel love around it.
Okay, so let's say, I'm sure there's a lot of people that want to lose weight in the coming year, right? That's a big resolution that people have when the new year comes. Okay, so let's apply this to losing weight. So
you can't focus on losing weight because your brain thinks in pictures. So when you say, I want to lose weight, your brain sees all the weight on you.
Mm.
You never say what you want with any negativity. So first of all, how much does everybody want to weigh? If they don't know the number, how can they get to the number?
Wow. Okay.
Okay. So now I'm going to go to my love place. Wow, that's what it feels like. Wow, I'd feel so good about me. I'm going to feel good about me right now. I'm going to see me weighing that number, being healthy, maybe going for power walks until I can get back to the gym, pulling up some exercise program on the TV. But I'm going to do something because I've chosen and committed to feeling better and weighing this amount.
I love it. Okay, so can we do the same thing with our health? Okay, let's say you talked about
with everything.
You talked about the fibroid and how you were led to somebody that helped you get pregnant, and then
because I chose and committed that I was going to have this baby.
Okay, so now I had a surgery that I had to have. I mean, there were physical holes and things going on. So
Yeah.
I have back issues. I don't want to have back surgery. I don't want to go through this again with my back.
What do you want, Vicki?
So what I want is I want to heal my back through physical therapy. That's what I want.
Okay.
No?
You're almost there.
Okay.
Just tell me.
I want a healthy back.
There you go. There you go. You want a healthy back that's in flow and in ease. And they're yelling at me. Do you have an osteopath?
I don't have an osteopath.
Well, I have a great one.
Okay.
You should call, and an osteopath could help you. Do you know what an osteopath is?
I don't.
Okay, an osteopath is a licensed medical doctor who, through his hands and his teaching, works and manipulates even organs, tissues, muscles, everything, bone. For example, when Gabby was little, the big thing was putting tubes in their ears, right?
Mm-hmm. My kids too, yeah.
And my doctor said, no, you're not putting tubes in her ears. You take her over. The gentleman's name is Dr. Hagopian. He's over on Wilshire and he's amazing. So I took her to see him. He put his hands on her head and went, my God, what kind of a birth did she have? And I said, well, they had to forceps her and suck her and everything else. He said, all the bones are misaligned here. So he worked on her for about a half an hour, never had another ear infection, ever. So later on, my mom, I talked to my mom every day in Kansas, and she had this surgery. And she was in excruciating pain. And the doctors thought, well, maybe we left an instrument in there, but the x-rays didn't show anything. And she was just getting worse and worse and worse. So I flew her out here and I took her to see Dr. Hagopian. He worked on her for a half hour. He said, Dee, her, oh gosh, what's this called right now, is in spasm. Because in the surgery, they have to lift it up and put it over your chest, right? And it was in spasm.
Like her pelvis or something?
No, it's not her. Gosh, I can't remember the name of it. Anyway, walked out of his office. She was out of pain. I mean,
so what is osteopathy? What is that exactly?
Well, they're medical doctors that are trained with their hands and their energy to manipulate nervous systems, organs, put your bones, realign your bones, your muscles. A good osteopath is priceless in my life.
Are they recognized by I bet they're not recognized by insurance, is my guess.
I think many of them are because they're medical doctors. My osteopath, you pay for it, they bill you and you send it into your own insurance. But you can check with your insurance before.
Wow. So, and you, this is not something that you go to again and again and again, like these have happened in singular visits?
Well, I threw my back out about 4 weeks ago, and it was starting to go down my right hip. And I got really quiet and I said, all right, I am a healthy back and I feel great. And is there anyone that can help me create that right now? And the first name I heard was my osteopath. So I've seen him twice, totally out of pain. Everything's good.
Wow. Do you have to believe, what is a kinesthesiologist? Is that the person that I did that once a couple of times and did not have success with it. Do you have to believe for that to work?
Well, you didn't have success with what? That doesn't make any sense to me.
Well, I went in because I was having allergies to perfumes, chemicals, dyes. He said
No, you weren't. That's what you thought it was. What did he think it was?
He said that he thought it was because of my marriage that was failing, and my husband.
He was right. But you didn't want to accept that. Look, big yes.
No, but I was willing to accept it, but he didn't give me a path out of it.
Well, I am.
Okay.
If you want to change your health, you change your thinking. You want to change your money, you change your thinking. And look, we're in relationship with everything, guys. So, okay. All right. I'll use that. So
they're talking to you?
Yeah, they talk to me all the time. So, because as soon as you started talking, they said no about the perfume. No. So this is the way it works. Okay. So let's say you want to create a great relationship. Okay. So you walk in, let's just say a woman wants to create a great relationship. Someone that loves her and honors her and respects her and takes care of her. And she walks into a room of these 5 gorgeous men that all fit that bill. And she goes, oh, I'm so wanting to have this relationship with you and be honored and respected and loved. And I'm so glad you're all here, but I have to tell you, I'm kind of a piece of shit. I don't really respect myself very much. I think I'm too fat. I don't like the way I look. Hey, who wants to have a relationship with me? Well, you see, that's what we're doing with our money. We're going, I don't like you. Do you want to have a relationship with me? Right? Mm-hmm. Most people are trying to create money by hating the fact that they don't have money. Why would money come to them, like any relationship, if they are not in harmony with that? Same with your health and your body. Same with success. All goes back to love. And if you don't love yourself, you're not. Who do we want to give everything to, Vicki? The people we love. We better be at the top of that list.
So when we do that 10 minutes a day and we're doing that smiling and going to that loving place, it sounds like we're starting with loving ourselves. Is that where we start?
Absolutely, because you wouldn't choose to do it if you didn't love yourself.
How wonderful. Okay, Tova's saying, how much sleep does Dee get? And how to work on chasing away the day stresses to sleep like those people who can sleep at the drop of a hat. Tova has a lot of sleep issues. How can she help herself with her sleep?
Okay, so let me go to, okay, whoa, that came in fast.
Whoa.
So it stems from your childhood, Tova, and you're afraid to go to sleep because you're afraid you're not safe. And it comes, I wish I could talk to you, but I'm going to your dad. There's an issue where you didn't feel safe. And so it's hard for you to go to sleep, and then you get to sleep, and then you go, oh, am I safe? Oh, I'm safe. Okay. Whoa, am I? And that's your nervous system is always trying to, and your brain, look out for you. So the highest thing you can direct yourself is, I am the powerful God of me that knows I am safe and secure in this world because I create it that way.
She just wrote, that's totally true.
The child Tova is having a sense memory and you're not aware of it as the adult. So talk to your little girl and let her know that you're taking care of her now and she's safe and you're going to make sure she's safe. And
oh my God, I love that.
Trust you now.
Now, Dee, as parents, I know you just wrote a children's book. BuppaLaPaloo. BuppaLaPaloo. Okay, so how can we teach our children? Oh, look at that.
Oh, it's such a beautiful, beautiful book, guys.
Can we
Anybody
teach
knows?
we teach our children? Mine are grown, but can we help our children to grow up with this thinking, this belief?
Sure, I did. Look at my kid.
Yeah,
Vicki, you know
amazing.
Gabrielle.
Yeah, she's amazing.
She's a force to be reckoned with. So I just did her podcast and I caught her off guard and I said, so Gabrielle, what affirmations did we say every night? She went, oh my God, Mom, can you start me out? And I went, no, you know them. And she looked at me and went, I am happy and healthy and loved and loving and wanted. And she said the whole thing. And in her life, of course, we have to teach them right and wrong, but in her life, I always respected my kid. And if she had a problem at school, she went in with me and we discussed it and we listened to her side, you know. So we have to, if we're going to halt the sins of the fathers that are being passed down, we have got to start teaching our children the simple lessons of creation. And the first book of BuppaLaPaloo teaches the child how to choose who they want to be. You know, the little boy says, well, Daddy says I'm not old enough, and Grandma says I'm not big enough, and Mommy says I'm not a good friend. And Bubba, the little bear, says, well, you haven't asked the most important person, you. Who do you want to be? And then he starts, I am this, and I am strong enough, and I am old enough, and I am a good friend. And like the I am discourses say, anything you say after I am is a strong direction to your energy to create that.
Somebody just asked where they can buy your books. I know you can buy them on Amazon. Is that the best place for people to buy your books? Yeah,
probably. You can get it at Barnes and Noble also.
And your website, Dee?
I am DeeWallace.com.
And people can come to you for a private session. You have your webcasts that they can.
Yes, I do a webinar. Boy, the one I did last night, the predictions for 2022 was off the charts. You also can call in for free.
Can we access the webinar after the fact?
Yes, you can go on my website and buy it. Yeah, okay. It's $50 and worth every minute, every buck. Let me tell you, blew our minds, the information that came through. But every Sunday, also 9 a.m., and you can go to the homepage of my website. It'll show you how to get on. I have a free call-in show. You can call in and ask the channel anything.
Wow.
Anything.
Tony says, among Dee's books, which one would she recommend as an introduction course?
I think I would hold on, let me ask them. That's a good question.
We're gonna say Born. I was gonna say Born. Yeah,
it's so easy, guys. It's so easy and it's fun. And I give you lots of stories of client successes, and it shows you how religion and spirituality and brain science are all saying the same thing.
I have a question that
pages.
I'm buying it today. Easy. I have a question about that might serve a lot of people that I know comes up a lot for me. What if we walk into a wall with another person? Maybe it's our mother, maybe it's our partner, maybe it's our child. I know what we do for ourselves to come from a loving place. Does that redirect our relationship with the other person? How do we do that?
Well, bottom line, Vicki, if it takes you out of self-love for yourself, you leave.
Yeah, but what if it's your child or your parent or?
Well, hold on, I'm waiting for the right words. It's not an either or thing, they're saying. What you all have to understand is the higher you love yourself, the more you serve everybody else. Because a lot of times people think loving other people mean giving themselves up, especially women. We're taught to give ourselves up for other people. And then we're taken advantage of, and then we start resenting it. And then we don't love ourselves because we've allowed ourselves to do this to ourselves. So there's that fine line of, I love you and I respect you, and I'm not going to play this game anymore. So if I can support you in raising yourself up, if I can support you in losing that weight, if I can support you in making that money, if I can support you in the love we share, I'm all in. But never at the expense of me.
Whew. You know, people who are difficult don't really listen very well, I've discovered. So trying to even say anything like that to somebody who's in crazy town, I don't know. I've never had a lot of success with.
Did you hear the belief you stated? Did you hear the belief that you just stated?
People don't listen.
Yeah. People like that don't listen. So what you want to create in yourself is seeing them listening.
Ah.
You have to see the world you want if you're going to live in the world you want. It starts within you first. I've worked with so many people, Vicki, like one story that I talk about in Born was he was having a horrible time with his boss. She was just ruthless and mean to people and wasn't allowing him to use his creativity. And he said, I just don't even want to go into work. I said, well, you're never going to change it that way. You start loving going into work. You start directing exactly how your day's going to go. And you start sending her a lot of love. Now our mental minds go, well, that's bullshit. I'm telling you, in a month and a half, she was moved to another building, and the woman who came in was everything that he had on his list that he wanted to work with.
Wow. Okay, so we've got to write it down. So now we can do all this in our 10 minutes, or are we doing this throughout the day?
The breathing exercise is 10 minutes.
Okay. And then this other stuff.
Before I get out of bed, I direct my day. I get up and I say, today is a great day. Not going to be. Today is a great day. Today I know and I am clear. And today I get healthier and healthier and happier and happier and wealthier all the time. Today I send out love to everybody and I get lots of love back. And do you know, everywhere I go, it happens. Wow. So I direct my day like I am creating this now. I do the breathing exercise and I watch my thoughts.
So then throughout the day, you're watching your thoughts. So throughout the day, you're applying it in the
because
moment.
When we get out and we start living life, we get hit with a lot of challenges.
Right.
And I've trained my guy and Gabrielle so well now that now when I fall out, they go, Mom, did you hear what you just said? I go, you know, but that's great. We call each other on it all the time, and it keeps us on our toes.
Mm-hmm. I love that. Jan asked if there's a place where, from your website, can people get signed books? How can they get signed books?
Yes, you can. If you email me on the website, I will sign it for you and mail it out to you.
So Jan also says Jan is a male. Do you get any feelings about his situation? You know, I have so much, Vicki, I can't even form a question. Ugh,
well, that doesn't work.
Lonely.
You have to give me a question. Come on, Jan.
He's saying he's lonely. Should he move home?
No. No, you shouldn't move home. You should find the home within you, Jan. You are lonely. Wow. You are lonely because you have left yourself, sweetheart. Oh, I just feel so much love for you right now. I don't usually go into feelings, but come back to you. Come back to knowing how magnificent you are. And then draw in people that will acknowledge that magnificence. And you won't be lonely anymore, sweetheart.
Wow.
So much love to you.
You're
a very special person, Jan, and you need to know that more. I can feel it right away.
It's that Jan. Oh God, it's female Jan. Okay.
Oh, whoever it is.
Well, no, that's information for me that Tova just reminded me. I thought it was a different Jan. It's Jan from the COVID crazies. And you just gave her a beautiful answer. And I'm so happy that you did. And I'm so happy that thank you, Tova, for pointing that out to me. I don't know that we can, that was beautiful. And I felt that with you. And Dee, I am so grateful for you in my life. And you've been a constant, I was looking back, you've started coming to my living room. It's like 12 years ago, right? It's a long time.
Bright light, I think.
Yes, it was. And you've been a couple of times and you've done this show a few times and you've been there for me personally. And thank you for reminding me again, everything I needed to hear today, because I want to approach this new year with this love and this knowing that it is within me to have everything that I want. And
so I am creating this new year right now.
And I am creating this new year right now. And also being reminded of doing the writing, of being really clear what I want. So everybody out there, we're going to be writing, because we do a writing challenge every day on the Women Who Write group page. So I think what it's going to be for the new year is I am, right?
You bet. It's the strongest direction you can give. And remember, in whatever you create, you want great health, financial abundance, and balance. And of course, love. Balance.
Okay, remember, talk about balance for a second. Tell me what you mean by balance.
Oh, come on, Vicki. You know what I mean by balance. If you're unbalanced, you get up at 7 o'clock and you work all day and you work until 10 or 11 o'clock at night because you're driven.
Can I love too much?
No, you can't love too much. Love brings about the balance. Because see, when you love yourself, you don't let yourself work 20-hour days, because it's not good for your well-being. You don't allow yourself to live with people that put you down or demean you, because it's not good for your self-being. You don't allow yourself to stay with people who aren't working for you when they're supposed to.
So Dee, you were saying before that you didn't go into a store yesterday or today or whatever, you stayed in the car and you did your exercises. So how are you approaching this COVID thing, being practical and being safe, but at the same time, knowing that you are healthy and you are fine?
Oh, Vicki, look, I've done 6 movies during COVID. I've been out to speak. I even, my nephew, my favorite nephew, and his wife went to Vegas, and they said, "Oh, Aunt Dee Dee, please come visit us," and Gabby and her guy. So we all went. I mean, you wouldn't know there's a pandemic anywhere in the world in Vegas.
Yeah, I understand.
It's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy. But I am very secure in the power of my direction of energy. And I know whatever you fear, you attract to you.
Mm.
So, I heard myself say to Lanny the other day, "Oh my God, everybody's getting it." And I stopped right there and I went, "Holy shit, did you hear what I just said?" He went, "Yep, I did." I said, "Okay, well, we're not getting it, so everybody's not getting it. Gabby and Tay aren't getting it. My friend up north isn't getting it. Vicki doesn't have it. So I guess
I'm not getting it. I want you to say
really
not getting it.
But that's not a correct belief. But it's the belief coming into me from the collective consciousness that's hitting my consciousness. And I have to be conscious enough when it comes in and hits me.
But at the same time, Dee, we talked before the show, you are a total pro-vaxxer and that we all have to do our part.
Absolutely.
So I need to put that out there, that you're not just saying we can think that we're going to be fine and then we don't have to do what we need to do.
Trust God and tie up your horse anyway, right? So, what my channel said about it was that it's about choosing for the greater good. And in my predictions webinar last night, they said that's what everything is about right now. And that love is absolutely prevailing, but it's not apparent yet. And that when you stop to ask yourself if you should do something or vote a certain way or donate money, ask yourself, am I serving the greater good? And if the answer is yes, follow through. Because many of us are making decisions that are not for the greater good. They're selfish decisions. And we think that's self-love. But self-love on the level that I'm speaking about is that you are so filled up with love for yourself that your cup runneth over and you have all this love to give to everyone else. Not judge them, love them.
Can you give an example, Dee, of something that is self-serving, that if somebody did in their daily meditation, that is something that is not for the greater good, that it won't work? Like I'm trying to connect the dots here. Like what might something be that somebody would wish for that is not for the greater good?
Well, I'll tell you, they always use my own personal challenges to teach everybody. So in my meditation, I'm saying I am love and respect for all people. And they showed me when we were at dinner the night before, and the people next to us were quite loudly talking about the, pardon my French, assholes that felt like they needed to be vaccinated, and many other sundry judgments. And they stopped me in my meditation and they said, even them, Dee. And I went, shut. Shut. But that's what I mean. The beauty of it is that you really do become conscious enough to monitor yourself, which makes you love yourself even more. See, when that happened, I didn't go, oh my God, I fell out. And I went, you little sucker, you just kind of slipped that one right under there, didn't you? And I did. You know,
go ahead. I'm sorry.
If you focus on creating you and not pointing the finger at anybody else or needing anybody else to love you or hire you or pay you or commend you in order for you to love you, that's what it's all about. But we're going, it's your fault. It's your fault I can't do this. You know, I love Dana Wilde. She says, you know, there's nothing wrong with telling your story except that you keep telling it. Mm. And as long as you keep telling it, you keep defining yourself as the limitation of your story. Yes, my dad was an alcoholic. Yes, we were poor. Yes, he committed suicide. Yes, all that, that's part of my story. And you know what? I ain't living it anymore. I'm not denying it, but I'm not using it to excuse me for anything.
All right. I again am going to say that you said every word that I needed to hear today. And I suspect that is true for everybody who's here. I mean, exactly what I needed to hear. I feel like you've empowered me to move forward.
I hope so, because you're amazing, Vicki. You do so much good for so many people and do it in such a fun and authentic way.
Thank you.
Yeah, come on. Know you the way we know you, right? Everybody send her a message.
Well, I'll take some love right now. I'll take some hearts. Thank you so much for doing this, Dee. And I don't need to wish you anything because you. Hey,
bring it on. Wish me love. That's all I need.
I send you love. I give you love.
You right back at you. Like a big hug. Recigive. That's what it is. Recigive.
I hope you have a joyful and fun New Year's because I know you'll have a healthy and a happy one. Yep. I don't doubt it.
That's the plan.
So everybody, the book is Born. You can get it on Amazon. If you want it signed, you can go to I Am Dee Wallace. Is that correct?
Yeah.
I Am Dee Wallace. You can get it signed, and let's get it. Let's get it. We're gonna do this. We're gonna do this together. We're gonna do it on the Women Who Write group page. This month's challenge. I am.
Yeah, you watch. Your lives will change.
Love that.
You feel love. You know exactly what you want. You commit to it. You invite the universe to partner with you. You watch your life change.
I can already feel it. That sounds crazy, but no, I can feel
it. You can shift like that, Vicki.
Well, I'm
you just keep saying it's easy, it's easy, it's easy, it's easy.
Okay. I like that. I like those words. I love you.
Love you.
Thank you so much for doing
this. Love all of you. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.